All right, welcome. Today, we are going to build a powerful argumentative essay completely from scratch. We'll start by grabbing all the essential tools we need, and then we'll put together the perfect structure. So you're staring at a blank page, right? Wondering how on earth you're supposed to argue both sides of some complex issue. Yeah, we've all been there. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to have a crystal clear blueprint to tackle this stuff with total confidence. Okay, let's dive right in. Okay, first things first. Every great project, every great argument needs the right tools. So before we even think about building our essay, we're going to stock up our toolkit. We'll fill it with some essential vocabulary all about crime and justice, and I've broken it down into a few key areas to make it super easy. So we're looking at 6 main categories here. This is going to cover everything, from the different types of crimes and the criminals who commit them, all the way to the legal process and what happens after. Let's kick things off with theft. All right, first up, we've got crimes that involve theft. Now, here's a really key distinction I want you to notice. Burglary. Burglary is specifically about illegally entering a building to steal something. That's totally different from robbery, which is all about using force or threats directly against a person. See the difference? It's a crucial one. Okay, next up, financial crimes. Now check out this term, embezzlement. This is a big one. It's not just any old fraud. Think about it like this. It's when someone who's supposed to be guarding the treasure chest, like an accountant, secretly starts pocketing the gold for themselves. It's all about that breach of trust. It's also super helpful to have the right words to describe the criminals themselves. A term you'll see pop up all the time is juvenile offender. And why is this so useful? Because the second you use a term like that, it automatically opens up these huge, complex debates about rehabilitation versus punishment. That's pure gold for an argumentative essay. All right, toolkit's packed. Now that we have the words we need, let's look at the actual blueprint. A both views essay isn't some chaotic mess. It follows a really clear, logical structure. It's like a map that guides your reader perfectly through your argument. And that structure is super simple but incredibly powerful. It's just 4 parts. You've got an introduction to set the stage, then 2 body paragraphs, one for view A, one for view B. And you wrap it all up with a strong conclusion to summarize everything and leave a lasting impression. Simple, right? Now, for today's explainer, we are going to really zoom in on the 2 parts that make the biggest impact. I'm talking about crafting a compelling introduction and a truly memorable conclusion. Think of them like the bookends of your essay. If you get these right, the whole thing just stands up so much stronger. Okay, let's lay the foundation. That's your introduction. A really great intro has to do 3 simple things, 3 jobs to set your entire essay up for success. First up, you need a hook. What's a hook? It's just a general sentence that grabs your reader's attention right away and introduces the bigger topic. And having a flexible template like this one, it's a lifesaver. It means you don't have to just sit there staring at a blank page. And look at this. You can see exactly how that template just comes to life. We've plugged in the broader topic, reducing crime, and named the key players involved. Instantly, you've created a specific, interesting context that pulls the reader right in. Okay, step 2. You've got to clearly state the 2 opposing views. And the key word here is paraphrase. You have to use your own words. This is how you show you actually understand the debate. You're not just mindlessly copying the question. So, for instance, instead of just repeating some boring question, you can rephrase it like this example here. It immediately signals to your reader, hey, I get it. I understand the core conflict we're about to dive into, which in this case is that classic debate, punishment versus rehabilitation. And finally, the third and final piece of your intro, the thesis statement. This is so important. Think of it as the roadmap for your entire essay. It's the one sentence where you tell your reader exactly what your position is. Are you going to argue for one side? Or, like in this example, are you going to argue for a more balanced middle ground approach? See how this balanced thesis just clearly signals what's coming? It leaves no doubt. And that's it. By nailing these 3 simple steps, hook, restate the question, and give your thesis, you have built a perfect, solid foundation for the rest of your essay. Okay, a strong start absolutely deserves a strong finish. Your conclusion is like the capstone on a building. It completes the whole structure. And the good news is, you can build a great one in just 2 simple, really effective steps. So, first thing you do, you restate your thesis from the introduction. But, and listen, this is really important. You have to use different wording. You can't just copy and paste. This is what brings your argument full circle and makes it feel complete, not just repetitive. Take a look at this example. See how it mirrors the idea from the introduction's thesis, but it's phrased in a totally new way? That's what you're aiming for. It gives the reader this really satisfying sense of closure. And last but not least, you end with what I like to call the clincher. This is your final thought, your big finish. It should look to the future. Maybe it's a recommendation, a warning, or a prediction about where this whole topic is headed. This is your chance to leave a really lasting impression. This example here just shows how powerful a specific prediction can be as a final sentence. It does so much more than just summarize. It leaves the reader with something real, something concrete to think about long after they've finished reading. Okay, so we've got our strong bookends, the intro and the conclusion. Perfect. Now, let's just quickly talk about how the body paragraphs, which are really the heart of your argument, fit right in the middle. It's super straightforward. Each body paragraph follows the same simple structure. So in your first one, you focus on view A, let's say the argument for long prison sentences. You state that point, you explain the reasoning behind it, and, this is the most important part, you back it up with a specific example. Then you just rinse and repeat for your next paragraph, but this time for view B, the argument for rehabilitation. And there you have it. It's that simple. When you have the right vocabulary in your toolkit and you follow this clear structure for your intro, your body paragraphs, and your conclusion, you can confidently tackle any both views essay that comes your way. You've got the blueprint. So the only question left is, what topic are you going to tackle first?